Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of a gentleman who is making his NEF debut. He is the one and only Kaleb, the Outlaw Kenney, and joined by him is his manager and a part of a wonderful sponsor of According to Woods of Prime Athletics, the one, the only Johnny Knuckles, John Parker. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, let's take it back. How do you guys know each other?
Grew up in the same town.
Really?
Yep, he was right down the road, mate.
Now, did you guys kind of get into combat sports together? Obviously, John, we know of your extensive, whether it be bare knuckle, MMA, pro wrestling deal, but, I mean, was that the bonding that you guys had, or had you known each other before one was fighter, one was manager?
Well, the way it worked out is I've had my career, and I knew his dad and mom, because he's like 20 years younger than I am. And basically I've had my fight team, and he got a hold of me and wanted to fight, and I can't get rid of him ever since.
Is that the way that you remember it, Kaleb?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he was looking for fighters on Facebook, and I reached out to him. It's always been a dream to fight, so I jumped on it.
Now, I mean, John, especially knowing his parents, was there kind of any trepidation on either side? Like his parents maybe not wanting to fight, or maybe if he were to fight, getting linked up with you, somebody that they knew and kind of grew up with, that he would be in good hands?
I'll let him cover that.
Oh, my parents love it. Dad's always been not a professional fighter, but a fighter. And my mother's one of my biggest supporters out there.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Now, Kaleb, what is it that appealed to you about the world of combat sports that you're like, I want in?
I've been fighting my whole life, I guess. Never been able to step into the ring, so why not make something of it?
Now, were you inspired by any fighters or a particular fight? Did you have an extensive, athletic background, before getting into MMA? Did you play football or anything?
We don't have football where I'm from, but I played a lot of soccer and basketball. I'd say Nate Diaz is probably who got me into the sport.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Diaz brothers. I mean, they're still making waves, literally 20 some odd years, I would even say more, because they were, choking dudes out like policemen back in the old Gracie Challenge days. And they were like, I don't know, think like 16, 17, or even younger than that, like 14, 16. So shout out to those guys. I mean, literal pioneers, living legends.
Agreed.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about this fight. NEF, right? Is this the first NEF card? NEF Black and Black. Is that the first card since like the whole COVID shutdown? Like, what is the scene like?
Yeah, it's the first one. I think they've been out for almost a year and a half, maybe longer. So this is gonna be a big card. And it ain't in Maine like normal. Normally it's in Maine. So this is going to be even bigger, I think, because we're in, the New Hampshire Dome? That's a big place.
About what's the seating kind of configuration? How many seats?
That's a good question, actually. I think they're half in it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be like, but don't quote me, I ain't sure.
All right. Yeah. So you said it's the New Hampshire Dome, right?
I believe that's what it's called. Yep.
Okay. So that is it's in Milford,
Yep.
obviously, and yeah, it's a pretty. Oh my God! Yeah, it's a pretty big venue. It doesn't give you the seating chart because it's kind of like a open space, kind of a blank space, as Taylor Swift would say,
Right.
and you just write your name, theoretically speaking. So you just fill it to whatever. If it's a soccer league or what have you, they just have that with bleachers and what have you. And if it's an MMA, you set the cage up in the middle of the thing and just put string out seats wherever you can. So I believe that's going to be the configuration. So again, if you guys are in the northeastern area, warmly encourage you to go ahead and check out NEF's first fight back in damn near 20 months. That's Back in Black, and Kaleb will be fighting on that card. I mean, Kaleb, you got to be excited, right?
Oh, I'm pumped. I hope they fill the bitch.
Yeah.
I want everybody to see.
So I mean,
The biggest show.
As a fighter, right? I mean, obviously, we all kind of went through 2020 in a weird kind of. I mean, it was weird for everyone, right? People were just losing everything, relationships, jobs, like opportunities and what have you. But as a fighter, whose like kind of lifeblood is you can't train if there's no fights, and it's hard to kind of keep motivated if there's no fights, but then also there's no gyms, to kind of ply your trade. So, what was that whole 2020 stretch that's still continuing to this day? What was that like for you as a fighter, as a person?
Well, we didn't have to worry about losing any gyms because we didn't have any gyms to start with.
Okay.
So we make the best of what we got, and I guess that's the Jones Sport way.
Right. And my gym is a closed personal gym. So through all this, it was just mine. You know what I mean? Like, so we have full run, nobody coming or going unless we brought them in. So we were never in confliction. You know what I mean? Like, so we got to train the whole time.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of a blessing because I mean, you might have been ahead of the game because a lot of gyms and what have you kind of went that route. Either it was kind of closed door, type of deal, or it was a matter of like uh, hey, you put all of the equipment outside and you worked out outside, and hell, I mean, Daniel Rodriguez, who's in the UFC now, he was training at a UFC gym in Southern California, and he would be out there like at midnight in the parking lot, just like clanging and bagging and trying to get some jujitsu in.
Yeah, we went basically Rocky style. We had, in the beginning, we were outdoors a lot. I mean, we done some unorthodox training. We did some regular stuff. I mean, but I think it added a different edge to him because I mean, like, it's different when you're out there carrying stuff across a field versus a nice flat plain floor. I mean, there's something to be said about throwing logs around, tires, and punching stuff outside. So I think he's got an upper hand.
Now, when you mention unorthodox training, I mean, did you bring in Josh Fabia? Like, were you guys doing Diego Sanchez?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm talking more like Rocky style. Like I'm talking like he's out there carrying logs around in the field. He's
tires.
punching trees, all kinds of different stuff. Sledgehammer workouts. I have a piece of an octagon out here. He dragged up and back and down the field. All kinds of stuff. Not counting the regular pad work and bags and sparring and so I think it went well.
And how did you respond? How did your body respond, Kaleb, to these seemingly unorthodox techniques?
I think it's the best way to do it. You got to adapt to whatever you got.
No, 100%, 100%, and that's almost like when you were saying that, John, it kind of reminded me of the old, pit days with John Halkeman and Chuck Liddell and those guys, where the first pit was essentially in John Halkeman's backyard, where he would have guys go. There was just this hill, and he would have guys carry each other up and down the hill, and it was like almost a widowmaker, they had a really affectionate, or not so affectionate way of calling that damn hill, but it bred champions. None look no further than Chuck Liddell. So I mean, if it works, it works, right?
Well, it was something. I mean, at least we weren't sitting on our asses, We were putting in the work. He was doing everything. I mean, everything you would do in a normal gym on top of crazy. And I think it's made him into a different fighter that nobody else has really got right now. And I'm pretty sure I could hit him with a 2x4 and it wouldn't matter.
Okay, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, calm down, sir. Anyway, but in terms of 2020, I mean, Kaleb, were you kind of jonesing for a fight? I mean, if the whole world didn't shut down, what was your 2020 like? I mean, what did you envision it? Did you want to get a couple fights in? Were you, kind of adamant in training? Like, what was that going to be for you if things were normal?
It wasn't until about February this year that I would have ever even thought about fighting, or thought that I would have a fight. So.
Really? And I mean, what was your life prior to this kind of February epiphany?
Working every day. You could say that training and fighting straightened me up a little bit. I was partying a lot, and I wouldn't say necessarily headed down the wrong path, but it wasn't a good one. And Johnny taking me in, training me all the time, motivate me, it straightened me up.
Now, I mentioned, epiphany, right? You having this epiphany to fight, but was there a catalyst? Was there something kind of dire that happened, and you're like, oh, whoa, like you kind of see the cards, kind of the chips fall as they may, if you will, and see maybe this is the right deal. But was there? You don't have to describe the moment, but like, was there a moment like that where you're just like, oh, you kind of surveyed everything around you and like, maybe this is not conducive for me in my future?
I didn't necessarily fall down, but I realized I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, do mom and dad get in your ear and go like, hey, you've played soccer, why don't you try this MMA thing that we've been watching? Like, what is the conversation like?
I think Mom was a little shocked when I first told her, but she came around quick, and she's one of my biggest supporters now.
And was that the kind of a momentum shift to, kind of have her on your side, especially the fact that she was kind of hesitant, like like you kind of proved it to her. I mean, for one, I didn't do my first interview or podcast until long after my parents had passed away, because there's you want to make them proud, and you're worried about what they were thinking, so like,
Right.
I understand. But was that a kind of a momentum shift that kind of is leading you into NEF Black in Black, that to have your mom a part of Team Outlaw?
For sure. Actually, her boss and where she works is one of the biggest sponsors we got right now for my fight.
Wow, that's incredible.
If you get a chance, mate, give a shout out to some of them sponsors too. Because I think it's like UBE Physical Therapy.
Yeah, L. Scott Manufacturing. What's that? A little bit right on the back of your shirt, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let me do this. This might work better.
Go up a little.
Yeah, right.
right there.
There you go. Yeah, man, that's a nice, great a screenshot. I even see a. It sounds weird to say, but I see a dirty girl right above John's ass. So they might be.
uh, that's actually my aunt's. Well, it even my aunt's kids' mud racing team. They race
Yep.
mud trucks.
Shout out to them. That's tremendous. And I mean, the fact that the placement of the logo was right above John's Mudmaker.
Perfect spot, mate.
I'm just saying, just saying. Now, it, in terms of this, right? I mean, this is going to be your debut for NEF. Are there any things that you're kind of looking to show, not just the people in the audience at the New Hampshire Dome, but also to yourself? Like, what would you like to get out of this, win, lose, or draw?
I guess I just want to prove that you don't need anything fancy. As long as you put in the hard work, the dedication, then you can go anywhere.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%. Now, in terms of, you know, like getting ready for this fight, right? Your weight cutting and all this jazz. Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Maybe indulging, maybe a cheeseburger. There's something that you're missing out on.
Oh,
I know the answer
I
to this.
I cannot wait to eat a whole package of fucking Oreos.
Damn, Oreos. Is it the OG Oreos or is it the now
Some
flavor?
double stuffed original Oreos. I can't wait. There's
Damn.
been a lot of stuff that I've cut out of my diet. I don't even really have to cut a lot of weight because I clean my diet up so much. I'm pretty much right on.
That's tremendous. Now, AG East Los Perros wants to know, where can I watch NEF? Do you know if there's a stream?
There's a pay-per-view. I don't know the link right off the top of my head.
Oh, you can find it on my page. I know that.
Go
Oh,
right
I
there.
did share it. It's $29.99.
Wow, okay. Sweet. Yes, I believe the website, and I will pull it up here. Let's see. The website is microphone. Where is it? Where is it? I had it. Oh, here we go. Bingo. All right. So it is right there. There is obviously that is the ticket price, but also on the website, if you scroll down, there is a option. Actually, there was an option. Maybe not. I don't know. But definitely check out NEF on social media and follow John Parker, and you'll get all of the info for this tremendous card. We even have isn't it a UFC veteran on this card? Like main eventing, something like that?
I didn't notice.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was looking at the card at Tapology, and they're like, yeah, man, it's a pretty legit card.
it is a good card. A lot of new faces, but a few old ones. I think it's going to be good. And you're going to hear some new names after this. Some people we never knew of.
Absolutely, and obviously the title fight or the headline fight is for the NEF. Believe it's featherweight championship. So I mean, right off the back, you're good. First fight back, and you're getting a title fight right there in New Hampshire Dome. It's absolutely tremendous.
And I believe there's an Army one, too.
There's I think 3 title fights on the line.
Right.
Damn.
3 or 4.
When you put that gold on the line, man, that's big stakes, big performances. So that's absolutely tremendous. Now, obviously, folks, before we go, Kaleb, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to get out of the way?
Shout out to the guy right behind me, Johnny Knuckles. If it weren't for him, then I wouldn't be here. So And shout out to all my family and friends, everyone that supports me, and fuck you to anybody that don't.
Ooh, there you go.
That's the outlaw part.
I kind of figured as such. And last but very not least, Caleb, where can folks find you as you ready yourself for the NEF cage? Where can they find you on social media?
Kaleb the Outlaw Kenney on Facebook.
There we go. And Johnny Knuckles, where can they find you as well as Prime Athletics on the interwebs?
You can locate me on the New England MMA news page. You can look me up on Team Nightmare MMA. You can look me up on Johnny Knuckles, John Parker, my Instagram account, ParkerJohn929.
Excellent. And gentlemen, thank you guys. And good skill going into NEF 44 back in black. Again, New Hampshire, Northeastern Seaboard, come out. This is going to be a phenomenal card. And also, thank you guys for joining us here at According to Woods. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I mean, Caleb, Johnny, you guys are subscribed to the podcast, aren't you?
You got it.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yes. So be like John, be like Caleb, and go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. And if you don't believe them, you don't believe me, and I don't know why you wouldn't. Here's Pro Wrestler Zeta Zhang to help convince you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you